All right, so my friend sent me an email the other day and said, here's another football tabletop game you might like that's completely free. It is called Family Football. So I printed out and it's completely free, and there are a whole lot of seasons available. Matter of fact, I think there's just about every season of NFL history available, as well as some college. So you can download it free, and I went ahead and downloaded it. These are the rules. I printed it out by Michael Jabral. I'm going to say Jabral. I hope that is pronounced correctly. It looks like a very cool possession-based football game. So of course I made my favorite season of all time, which is not 1958. My favorite sympathetic is 1982. This is the league where at 12 I discovered pro football on a level in which I had never really paid attention prior, and of course my beloved Raiders was the beginning of my love affair with the Raiders on another level, and this is also the season in which we got status pro football, and so 82 to me is like it's like going home again, right? So I've got the 82 Raiders here, and I've got the 82 Seattle Seahawks. There is a basic and advanced version. I'm going to go with basic for now. It is a possession-based game, meaning both teams get 3 possessions per quarter, so you're going to end up with regulation length game, and it's a very simple philosophy. Both teams roll, so the Raiders will roll first to see who wins the coin toss. So if it's odd, the Raiders will win the coin toss, and it is odd. The Raiders will get the ball first, right? And here we go. So it's very simple. The team with the highest SRS rating has what's called advantage. So the Raiders are on offense, which means we're technically going to roll for both teams. The team with the higher roll will use so we're either going to use the Raiders offense or we're going to use the Seattle defense. So the Raiders roll is 36. However, we have the SRS, so it's going to be 46. They have to beat a 46 to use their defense. Yeah, they do. So Seattle, our first possession is going to be coming off Seattle's roll. 26 is allowed a field goal. No, higher, change of possession. Now this will be a punt, right? There are rules for it being a turnover or a fumble, and if those numbers come up, we will address them. So there we have, the Raiders had to punt on their first possession. Seattle now, they roll a 51, and the Raiders get to add 1 to theirs, 43. So Seattle gets to go with their offense first. So Seattle's getting it done. 21 is scored a field goal. So Seattle goes down and lays a whooping on the Raiders, puts a field goal on the board. Uh-oh, here we go, Raiders. 34 and Seattle 46. So the Seattle defense still in control of the Raider offense here. 44, and it's going to be a change of possession. So the Raiders again have to punt. Seattle rolls a 36. The Raiders roll a 42. So the Raiders are going to we're going to roll their offense on the Raiders defense. 65 is change of possession. 65 is a turnover. That's going to be an interception. Let me double check that. I think that means an interception. Let's double check. Because a fumble, I think, is 63. I think. No. Yep, 65 and 60. So the Raiders, guess who that would be? Lester Hayes picks off a pass. So Seattle throws an INT. And here we go. The Raiders with a chance. Still in the first quarter. The Raiders with a 61. 60. So Seattle's defense still controlling the Raiders. And they're going to roll 35. Another change of possession. Again, the Raiders forced to punt. What an ugly first quarter for the Raiders. Seattle with a 25. The Raiders with a 33. Let's see what the Raiders do. And 63. The Raiders cause a fumble. So 63 is a fumble loss. So Seattle fumbles the ball away. Fumble lost, and it's going to be 3-0 after 1. Seattle at home in the Kingdome, holding off this great Raider team by a field goal. And again, Seattle's already turned it over twice, so somehow the Raiders have got to turn those into scores. The Raiders get the ball to start the second quarter, and here we go. We need to start getting our offense involved. 63. I think we're going to finally get our offense involved. Yep. So the Raiders now, it's a whole different animal. Oh, change of possession. So the Raiders, I say that, and then the Raiders have to punt. So the Kingdome has got to be rocking and rolling here. Seattle with a 22, and the Raiders defense is in control of Seattle here. 24 is allowed a field goal. Oh no, the Raiders gave up a field goal. Seattle hits a field goal. I can't believe it. Come on, Raiders. The Kingdome is rocking. The Raiders with a 46, and okay, the Raider offense back in control. Let's do something here. No, it's going to be a change of possession. LA punts. My gosh. Here we go. Seattle. Seattle with a 32. The Raiders with a 65. So the Raider defense is in control. 16 is going to be allowed a TD. Are you nuts? So at home, Seattle scores a TD. And of course, there doesn't say what kind of TD. We can determine that based on statistical performance or something. But oh my God, it's 13-0. Seattle at home. The Raiders, they're going to get, oh no, I think Seattle's going to be in control of this drive. No, yeah, they are by 0.3. And 23, oh no, shoot, it's a punt for the Raiders by 1. I was hoping we'd score something. And Seattle, the final drive of the first half, the Raiders get a 64. Okay, the Raider defense, and the Raider defense forces a punt. Seattle punt. Oh my God, the first half, all Seattle. 13-0 as the Raiders travel to Seattle in the Kingdome in a rivalry game. And holy cow, not quite what I would have thought. As the Raiders were an 8-1 team, and Seattle was a 4-5 team. The Raiders are a 5.2 SRS. These guys are a minus 5.45. Do not ask me what the heck is going on here, but it's going on. However, we gave up that TD. They didn't score it. Remember, their scoring is pretty bad. The Raiders actually relinquished it. So, combination of our poor defense, or not poor, but our defense giving up something that Seattle would not have scored on their own. That's a trip. All right, Seattle gets the ball to start the second half with a 13-point lead. The hometown fans thrilled. Again, this is family football. It's a possession-based game. Seattle rolls a 32. The Raiders roll with advantage a 63. So it's on the Raider defense, which is worse. Technically, I don't want it to be on us because our defense is easier to score on than their offense. And they scored another touchdown. Seattle on a snake eyes scores another touchdown. My God, folks, it is 20-0. Seattle blistering the Raiders. Are you kidding me? The Raiders with a 45. All right, the Raiders get to do this off their scoring mechanism, and it's going to be a punt. LA punts. My gosh. Seattle rolls a 22. The Raiders are going to win this. This is very, very sad as we give up more touchdowns and another touchdown. Seattle with a TD, folks. It's 27-0 Seattle. Oh, wait, they're extra points. I got to kick their extra points. I take that back. Oh, they missed one. They missed this one, but they made the last one, and they made the last. So they missed this PAT. No good. Oh God. So that's going to make it 13 points for Seattle here. So it's okay. It's 26-0. All right, Raiders. Raiders with a 66. They're with a 15. So come on, Raiders. We got to make a comeback. No, it's going to be a punt for the Raiders. Punt. And here we go. Seattle gets a 45. The Raider defense gets a throw. Oh, good. So it's going to be on Seattle's offense. And, of course, they punt the ball away. So, see, as long as we don't win those. So there's an example of our being stronger. Dominating the game is hurting us on defense. All right, LA, this is the final possession of the third. We need to score. We basically have to score every single time we have the ball now to win this game 26-28. So let's see if LA can do that. 35 for LA. Nope, their defense is in control, and it's going to be a punt for LA in the third. 13 more points for Seattle in the third. It is 26-0, and Seattle takes over in the fourth quarter. Here we go. The Raiders roll a 43. Seattle rolls a 24, and again, the Raiders is it's going to be almost a fumble, but it'll be a punt for Seattle. All right, the Raiders with a 62, Seattle with a 42. So the Raider offense. Oh, got to fumble the ball away. So LA, fumble lost. Seattle with a 23. The Raiders with a 72. And the Raiders give up another touchdown, 23. Seattle with another TD. The extra point for Seattle is no good. So no good, failed. Wow, butt whooping. Here we go. LA, 31 and 43. So Seattle's defense wins this. And it's going to be a punt, LA. Here we go. Seattle is going to get a 24. The Raiders are going to get a 76. And the Raiders are going to force a punt. And the last drive of the game for the Raiders. Let's see if we can score something. We're going to get shut out. 61-32. The Raiders need something. Oh, touchdown. Finally, the Raiders score. Their extra point is not automatic. It's going to be a TD. The extra point for the Raiders. They avoid the shutout. They make it with a PAT. with a PAT. And the Raiders end up getting 7 in the fourth. They end up getting another 6 points because they missed two PATs in this game. So Raiders 7. Let's see here. 13, 26, 32-7. Seattle whoops the 1982 8-1 Raiders in Seattle 32-7. I'm not certain that I like those results. But that was fun. It was fast. It's very clever. The teams are rated very simply. They have a power rating that's taken from the Pro Football Reference. So they use the SRS ratings for teams from Pro Football Reference. So that's based on some actual data. And then, of course, their results are going to be based on the statistical performance of scoring touchdowns, field goals, and punts versus turnovers, both offense and defense. And then their SRS determines whether they win, whether they're in control on offense or they relinquish the defense control. Very cool, very unique. And you saw how fast that was. That is Family Football, revised edition by Michael Jabral. Check it out. It's completely free. There's decades and decades of teams available for free and some college stuff. So I'll put the link to this very cool game in the description. Anyway, there you have it. The strike season Raiders, one of the best teams in football, 8-1, just get destroyed by Seattle. I think the Jets beat them in real life in the playoffs. I don't remember who beat them in the regular season, but I believe the Jets beat them in the playoffs, if I remember right. So, all right, bye-bye.